Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, your girl, the one and only Tiffany E, aka Smackdown TV2, and I am here to give you guys all of the tea when it comes to wrestling and maybe a little bit of odds and ends in between there. So why don't you go ahead, go get your snacks, go get your juice, go get you a good drink, a good glass of wine if you can drink it. If you're underage, don't be drinking, okay? Go on and get you some juice or something and sit back and listen as we kiki and holler about wrestling. Because over here, you get a plethora of things when it comes to my show, okay? You get wrestling commentary.
No benefit of the doubt. Dr. Phil say don't do that. Dr. Phil say when somebody show you who they are, and so did Maya Angelou, believe them. Them two hoes are snakes. They been snakes, and them hoes was like that when you got there, and they like that now, so fuck them both. And they did the right thing by letting them headline WrestleMania. They most definitely deserve to headline WrestleMania. And that is how you close a mania.
What else we get? You'll also get a weekly recap of every single show that WWE has to offer. Monday Night Raw after show, NXT after show, and of course a Friday Night Smackdown after show. You'll also get a recap of all the Big 5 PLEs. I even do the Saudi shows for you. And then, if it's good and worth the time, I may even throw a little AEW in there. But of course, I will do my best to make sure I recap as many PLEs as possible. If I don't have it, then I'll throw it to one of my friends who do know it. We also cover pop culture, and we have really good time over here with lifestyle and just giving advice. So, if you're ready, it's showtime. And that is on the ancestors, baby.
They need to call. He said it's not about them not caring. He said I said they just inconsiderate, Danny. He said I feel like I'm crazy because he legitimately thought he didn't have to say nothing. And I was like, well,
that's because it was something already predetermined that we discussed. True enough.
I was sick though.
But your sister has been sick for the last 2.5 weeks.
I'm still sick.
I said your brother just got cleared from having COVID.
Hello, everybody. I finally got StreamYard finally is now able to stream to Instagram. So I can do this on Instagram and over here on YouTube, which makes my life a lot better. it makes life a lot easier on me.
Bitch.
Right. So if this your first time watching the live show after Smackdown, this is how it usually goes. I will stream Wednesdays too. I'll do Freestyle Wednesdays over there. They literally just got this available on StreamYard. So this is new. This is different. And today we're going to finish up the SBC chat because we got about 3 more questions for the SBC chat to finish today. And Smackdown was real short and sweet. It was real cute though. So we're going to keep it nice and breezy.
It's going.
You can see it?
Yeah, see it.
Oh, it's cute. I love that. So I can't see all of y'all comments over here on Instagram. So I have to switch off from Instagram to YouTube. So just keep that in mind. But I appreciate y'all for joining my live. I appreciate it. I love y'all. King Black Bear, I see you. You said LA Knight's gonna turn heel. I can feel it. I feel like it's a choice between him and Randy, but Randy's too over right now. It looked like for right now, LA Knight's gonna stay face, and they're gonna turn. Obviously, AJ Styles is the one who they turned heel today. But if y'all didn't see it, if you missed SmackDown, I'm gonna give y'all the 1, 2, 3 punch of SmackDown. Y'all have to excuse my husband. He in here watching basketball.
Bradley Bill, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant are all out there for the first time tonight.
So today, the only matches that were announced were the 2 United States tournament matches that we saw, and Randy's match with Jimmy, and then, of course, the Tribal Chief return. To be honest with you, SmackDown was quite somber. It was a really quiet, slow going show. Excuse me. There wasn't a lot going on with SmackDown, but it did give you some pieces. It gave you some nice little tidbits, which we can appreciate. Okay, we appreciate the tidbits. All right. So let's get into it. We're gonna talk about it from start to finish. Let's start off with the tribal chief. Okay. The tribal chief showed up back up on SmackDown because of course he had to lay claim to his territory. Okay. Hold tight. Let me make sure I she said act up if y'all want to. I'm the warden. Like, share, and subscribe, bitches. Period. Period. Over here on Instagram, Mr. Vice said AJ Styles was unexpected. I 100% agree. TXXLVRX said I knew AJ was gonna come through back. But the attack on LA Knight caught me off guard. I think that caught everybody off guard. Nobody expected that, which is probably what Kratos actually wanted. It was a lot going on. But before we dive into all of the mess, I have to, recognize my top commenters of the day. Okay. So the top commenter of the day goes to Kenny Ken. She was in here first. I went live at 10:08. Kenny was in here right and ready to go. Caleb was right after her. Then there was Eli, Youngboy Jay, and B. Jeffers. They were my top 5. And my honorable mention top commenter goes to Nika. So the way this works over here on YouTube, if you want to shout out and be a top commenter of the day, all you have to do is come in here right after I go live and be of the first 5 commenters, and I'll make sure that your comment is seen and shouted out. You also can get a shout out just from doing the super chat, which some people have used. You can also become a member of the channel, which you'll get some perks and stuff for being a member of the channel as well. All right, but let's get into it, okay? SmackDown was kind of boring tonight. Usoology said SmackDown was kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie, they were right. It was, but it was really somber. But I will say that it was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't something that we couldn't enjoy. It was okay. It set us up for the next couple of weeks. It's the end of the year. I don't expect a lot to go down. So it was an okay show. It kept up with the continuity, but it wasn't as great as it could have been, right? Excuse me. Excuse me, y'all. I'm still sick, so please excuse me if I'm coughing. Um, Happy belated birthday, Tiffany. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. So Roman opened the show for SmackDown this week. He was doing his normal 1-2, being his normal annoying self. And of course, Randy came out there and counterbalanced all of that. And basically, what Randy said was what he's been saying for the last couple of weeks since he came back. Daddy's home, and I'm going to destroy everything that you've built. You put me on the show for 18 months. Roman made it seem like he ain't thought about Roman and Randy in 18 months. He don't care about him. Now, what was interesting about Roman's promo before Randy came out there was the dynamic between Roman Solo and Jimmy Uso. Now, if you were paying attention, Jimmy thought that he was going to be the one that was going to be called up to be the heir of the tribal chief, the throne. He wanted to be next in line, but he wasn't. Solo was given that moniker. Think back, the callback to when Jey Uso was determined to be the next in line. Jimmy didn't want Jey Uso to get that title. And it had nothing to do with him becoming corrupt like the tribal chief and all that stuff. It had everything to do with the fact that he didn't like being passed up by Roman for his brother. The same thing is going on with Solo and Jimmy and Roman right now. The only difference is Jimmy doesn't have the backing of Jey Uso anymore, and he's all on his own. He notices that he feels like a lot of this is a setup. He like, something ain't right. This don't feel right. I don't know, but I'm telling you, usually you need to go with your instincts. Roman is never about anybody but himself. He ain't trying to make sure Solo gets the next in line seat. He don't care about Solo. All he care about is ensuring that everything around him is protected. And if Solo feels like he's protecting something that once will be his, then he'll protect it 10 times more, which gives Roman the protection he needs and desires to maintain himself at the top. I don't know, y'all, but Nino Brown is always on some bullshit, and I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, okay? What are y'all talking about over here on Instagram? I don't like Gunther. He should be the Intercontinental Champion. Somebody else deserved to be the Intercontinental Champ. Well, unfortunately, Gunther is the Intercontinental Champion. But you know what? He's a good champion. He's not bad at being champion. He's a heel champion, but he's relatively good at being champion. So I'm not mad at Gunther being champion. I am down for somebody else being champion. And speaking of champions, let's move on to the United States Championship tournament. First match right out the gate was Grayson Waller against Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes looked very good on the blue brand today. He shined like he always does. He gave Grayson Waller a good showing. Waller looked like a worthy opponent. He had a sick move at the end of their match that I don't know where that move came from or what that shit was, but it was fire. It looked awesome, and Carmelo was able to kick out of it. They moved into it, and Carmelo ultimately was able to pick up the win. And he has progressed into the semifinals of this United States Championship tournament. He looked good on Monday on SmackDown today. And I can't wait to see when they move Carmelo, because if they move him to SmackDown, I think that'll be a good place for him to be a budding star. He can have great feuds with guys like LA Knight, with guys like Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, and of course with somebody like AJ Styles. He would match up perfectly with Styles. I can't wait, because that's going to be interesting to see over on SmackDown if they decide to move Carmelo over there. But Carmelo Hayes did beat Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller is out. Carmelo advances. Moving on to the next match, we had Kevin Owens going up against Austin Theory. For the most part, this match was pretty even kill. Both men competed at a high level in this match. There wasn't a lot of cheating or anything like that. There wasn't a lot of cheating going on between these two, but I will say that Austin has some great ring awareness during this match with Kevin Owens. There was a lot of movement, there was a lot of rolling out of the ring during times where this match could have been over. The only time that I would say Austin Theory got super vicious was towards the end when he tried to take Kevin out with his broken hand. Shut up. Other than that, it was a pretty solid match between the two guys. But ultimately, Kevin utilized his cast to take out Austin Theory, and that was the murder she wrote. That was it. So the guys were able to pull out a banger of a match. It was pretty long. That match between the two of them was longer than Waller and Mello's match. It was pretty long for them to have that time in that match. It was a lot going on. Now, in the middle of that, they had a big thing with Damage Control. Damage Control's Kabuki Warriors went up against Michin and Zelina Vega. Now, me personally, I feel like Vega and Michin should have won that match. But they decided to give it to the Kabuki Warriors, and they're booking Damage Control to be very strong. It seems like Damage Control has finally gotten themselves on one accord, and they have an agenda. They want the Kabuki Warriors to be tag team champions again. And of course, Bayley is looking to win the Women's Royal Rumble. I don't know about y'all, but me personally, I feel like Damage Control should implode. Not because I don't want them to be a successful women's faction, but mainly because all of the women in Damage Control are your top girls on your brand. And you've got all of them entangled up together, which doesn't leave a lot of room for feuds outside of the title. Everything is tangled up together. I understand that that women's division is small, but it's not so small to the point where you can't make this work. Next week, however, they're gonna have a 8-woman tag team match. It's gonna be Shotzi and Bianca, Michin and Zelina versus the Kabuki Warriors, Bailey and Io Sky. If you care, I'm gonna say I don't care. Do whatever you want. I just generally don't care about that match. Now, Carmelo went to the back and met up with Kevin Owens after he won his match against Austin Theory. And Carmelo told him straight up, listen, man, I got a lot of respect for you, but you've had your opportunities. You've been champion multiple times over. It's my time. And he was like, you might have knocked out Grayson Waller, but you ain't knocking me out. Because when I shoot, I don't miss. And he walked away. And I'm sure Kevin respected the hustle. So next week, it's going to be Kevin Owens versus Carmelo Hayes. And on the other side, you're going to have Santos versus RoboCop, a.k.a. Bobby Lashley. Now, Bobby and Santos both cut a promo today as well. Santos was like, I'm going to kick your ass. And then we ain't going to have to worry about seeing your ugly ass face on TV. Oh, God. I was like, thank God. Oh, my God. I was like, thank God for that, because Jesus Christ. Bobby had cut a promo as well. Basically, Bobby was like, Santos thinks he's done so much and he's above everybody else, but one thing he hasn't done is beat me. It was a lot of yada yada. The Street Profits did more talking, which they should, than Bobby. I think one of the girlies in DC are going to eliminate Bagel in the Rumble, and I think it's going to be Kyrie. I think they all going to do it. I think they all going to eliminate Bailey. I generally do. Anyways, final match of the night was the match between Randy Orton and Jimmy. Jimmy earlier in the night made it very clear that he felt like he was being set up. He was like, this doesn't feel right. This feels like a setup. This feels like, he put me in harm's way. And Solo was like, I'm your brother, and basically he was just like, we brothers. And that was where he left it. It don't seem like everybody in the bloodline is on one accord. And I don't really, truly, and honestly think that they are. But it is what it is. We'll have to wait and see. The match between these two was a match. I ain't going to lie. I wasn't really interested in watching them wrestle. But it was towards the end where things kind of unraveled. As Randy was getting ready to hit Jimmy with the RKO, which he ultimately did hit, the match is over and everything is done. Solo came out there. They were fighting. Solo ended up getting interrupted by LA Knight. As LA Knight came down the ramp, that's when Roman came down, attacked LA Knight, and then he stood at the top of, in the ramp for a minute, went in the ring and went at Randy. They was going back and forth. Jimmy got the drop on him, and that's how he was able to get Randy in the guillotine. This led to Solo coming in the ring, LA Knight coming in the ring, and everybody was in there fighting. It was a 2-on-3, 3-on-2 situation until AJ Styles pops up. Now, for the most part, everybody thought AJ Styles, of course, was going to be on Randy and LA Knight's side. Now, for the most part, he was, until they got rid of the bloodline, and then LA Knight was being stared down by AJ Styles. AJ Styles then attacks LA Knight. unprovoked, and then walks out of the ring past the bloodline, and it's very clear that AJ Styles has decided where his loyalties lie, and it ain't with nobody. Now everybody's scratching their head trying to figure out what the fuck just happened. What is going on here? I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible. Do you remember some months ago when AJ Styles was supposed to be John Cena's tag team partner? John Cena went to the back to go after and, pretty much pick up after AJ after he got taken out by Solo and Jimmy. Who replaced AJ Styles in that tag team match against Solo and Jimmy? Is LA Knight. After that, what did LA Knight gain? A marquee match against the WWE champion. Now, if my math is mathing, if we're doing wrestling math, I'm willing to bet that AJ Styles is pissed because LA Knight slipped in, took his spot, and took something that he felt he could have earned if given the opportunity. However, it can seem misguided and a little odd, but this is pretty much the way that they have already set this up to be. I can't see it being anything else other than that. AJ Styles haven't really been a face for a long time, but he works better, in my opinion, as a heel. So him being a heel, and he seems to enjoy doing it. So him being a heel to LA Knight's face character right now, that seems to work out better in his favor. So we'll see how this plays out, but I'm willing to bet money that that is what he's going to say is his reasoning for going after LA Knight, because he didn't go after Randy. He didn't even touch Randy. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know. Now, let's address LA Knight. Let's address Logan Paul. Logan Paul had a few choice words for some of the competitors in this United States Championship tournament. He only attacked verbally Carmelo Hayes and Kevin Owens. He didn't go after Bobby Lashley. He didn't go after Santos. And he didn't go after Waller or Austin Theory. None of them suffered his wrath. The only people who got what they got was Kevin Owens and Carmelo Hayes. Now, his attack, if you want to call it that, on Carmelo Hayes was that nobody knows who he is. Which, in my opinion, is a weak read, but sure, go off, sis. Nobody knows that Carmelo Hayes is a 2-time North American champion or one of the greatest and best NXT champions of this era. All right. Nobody knows who Carmelo Hayes is according to Logan Paul. Then he goes into Kevin Owens, and he's just a weak read. I am not impressed with Logan Paul in regards of his promo skills or just him being on the microphone, period. That irritates my soul. Where Logan Paul shines is in the ring, exclusively in the ring wrestling. That is his bread and butter. He generally should never hold a microphone. The microphone is his Achilles heel. He is usually outworked and out-talked on that microphone 99% of the time. And it's not hard to do that with Logan Paul. Quite frankly, he's an easy read and an easy target. It would not take much to destroy him or tear him down. Kenny said, I wish I was in the crowd because I would have been like, he's him, bitch. He definitely was being really petty when it came to Carmelo Hayes and talking about him as if he doesn't know who he is or where he come from or what he's capable of. You knew his name, which lost the credibility of you not knowing who he is. You said his name multiple times. You were running down like, oh, we don't know who you are or what you're doing, but good luck to you, random guy. And it's just like the random person is you holding the United States Championship. You're the random. He's actually in WWE. You just signed a contract because you ain't got shit to do. And let's call a spade a spade. You're bored. You don't have anything else to do. So let's not do that. Let's not downgrade this WWE superstars who are better than you in the ring. And just because you're naturally gifted doesn't make you great. It just makes you naturally gifted. One thing about it, and two things for sure, your work ethic has yet to be proven. Are you good at the ring? Yes, you are. But until you're on the road 300 days out of the year, doing live house shows, doing overseas shows, and working the live shows like everybody else, you can't call yourself the greatest. You can't call yourself one of the best. You just can't. There's some work you got to put in before you can do that. And being a champion requires more than what you're giving, but they're giving you a little bit more leeway to be able to do it the way you're doing it. But I digress. Anyways, that was pretty much SmackDown. There were very limited women's matches. Charlotte Flair is going to be out for the next 9 months, which means she is going to miss Mania this year. Charlotte's not going to be a part of Mania, which is going to feel very, very weird to not see Charlotte on the card for WrestleMania. But we're going to wait and see how this is all going to play out. We don't know who's going to win the Rumble this year. We don't know who's going to win Elimination Chamber this year. That's going to set up Mania after Elimination Chamber is official. The road to WrestleMania is set and we're done. So we'll have to wait and see how all of that's going to play out. I'm very interested in how NXT Stand and Deliver is going to play out this year. There's a lot going into Mania, but Charlotte is not going to be there. She is injured. She is going to be out for 9 months. And that's Monday. That was SmackDown, ladies and gents. It really wasn't a lot going on for SmackDown. SmackDown was fairly simplistic. It was pretty straightforward. But the only thing that happened on SmackDown that was a little interesting was Karrion Kross. So Karrion Kross cut a promo about how very soon there's going to be a seismic shift in the WWE, and he's going to be at the forefront of it. Essentially, he's going to be bringing the chaos and the rain. So we're going to have to wait and see how that's going to play out as well. It's some interesting things bubbling below the surface on SmackDown. I can't wait to see how it's going to play out. Very soon, SmackDown is going to be moving back to the USA Network, probably around October of next year. So it's going to be some interesting things happening on SmackDown, as well as Raw finally finding its place very, very soon. If you don't know, what you don't know is a lot, then you know that Nick Khan, Triple H, and some executives from TKO all went to go visit and have conversations with Warner Discovery. If you don't know, Warner Discovery is the ones who distributes AEW's content as well. Now, a lot of people are interested in Raw's show. It's a 2-hour show, at least guaranteed 1 million views a week. Everybody, all the networks are interested. It's very interesting, though, that they sat down with Warner Discovery to talk about Smack Raw possibly being distributed on Mondays on their network, along with their competitors on, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays being distributed as well. That is going to be Weird. So weird if that happens. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it's going to play out. I don't necessarily think that WWE is going to go to to Warner Discovery. Personally, I think they're going to end up somewhere else. Mondays are pretty packed when it comes to NBC, CBS, and even Fox. Like those days are pretty set. So I don't know. They might be on some of their sister networks or something like that. You never know where they may end up. I would go streaming, but WWE definitely wants to be on network television. They want to be somewhere where they can be visible and people don't have to pay a separate fee to see them, which is smart. But the possibilities of what you could do on a streaming network would be insane. Most people have Amazon Prime. I would go to Amazon Prime if I were them. But I'm not judging. I'm just calling it like I sees it. Okay. With all that being said, y'all, that is it. That is everything when it comes to wrestling. We have nothing else to talk about. So if you guys want to stick around for the rest of the SBC chat, you are more than welcome to do that. But I'm going to be shutting down the wrestling talk unless y'all got questions to ask, and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. Oh, I also know about Liv Morgan being arrested for the weed. She got caught with less than 20 grams of marijuana. She had a vape pen on her as well. She was in Florida, so it's illegal still in Florida. It's not legal in Florida. It's legal here in Ohio, though.
Stay off
the weed. Listen, you gotta go where you can get your fix, okay? You can't smoke in Florida. You gotta come where you can get your fix. Here in Ohio and in Detroit, you can smoke your weed, live your best life. You can do all that good stuff. Okay? But yeah. So I'm aware of that. I think Liv will be just fine. She may be penalized a little bit because she broke the law. I don't think it's going to be too bad. So but it is what it is. Unfortunately, it is illegal and she shouldn't have had the substance on her. However, it is just weed. It's not anything super, super serious. So hopefully, since this is her first offense, WWE will just give her a slap on the wrist. Maybe, cut her down, give her an extra week or two before they bring her back. And then they can move forward with the storyline that they want to do. So, yeah, good luck to you, though, Liv. I hope everything works out for you. JB Smooth, hold on. You are asking a lot of questions. Do you listen to DMX and Tupac's? And last but not Coolio music? Of course, I grew up on DMX and Tupac. Why wouldn't I? I'm not a big Coolio fan. I mean, I only like one song from Coolio, but I don't really listen to Coolio like that. JB Smooth on Instagram said, "Do you think Sasha is coming back to WWE?" I see and hear the rumors all day long. They yell and scream about Sasha returning to WWE and several other superstars returning to WWE. That's up to Sasha. Mercedes is doing what she wants to do right now. She seems to be having a good time in New Japan, and I don't blame her. Under Triple H's regime, I'm sure Sasha would love to come back. Do I think she should? If she wants to, yeah, I think it'd be great. The women's division can always use another veteran, and Sasha is always willing to work with the other girls to put them over and move into the new direction for the women's division, as is Charlotte and Becky and so many others. I am not opposed to her coming back as long as that's something that she wants to do. I would love for her to come back. All right. Do you think Randy versus Roman Reigns When do you think the match is going to be? More than likely, I believe they will have that match at Royal Rumble. Randy's not going to beat him. I mean, Roman's going to win. And with the way that they have been pressing this fact that Roman Reigns is um only 200 days from breaking Hulk Hogan's record, it seems like they are just gonna, push him all the way out until past SummerSlam next year and then have him drop that title, which sucks really bad because I love Nino Brown as much as the next person, but I'm tired. I'm really tired. Tiff, did you listen to Pink Friday too? Yes, I did. Do you see Bianca getting the title back? At some point, I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, but I do believe that she's gonna get the title back. I think that right now it is very smart for you to build up other superstars and push Bianca as one of your top faces to do it. I also think that the smart thing to do is next year after Mania, when they do the draft, they need to move Bianca back to Raw. Spread out some of these superstars and bring some of those girls from SmackDown, from Raw to SmackDown, and really even this out some more. So these rosters not necessarily can be equal, but so that they can have a little bit more weight to them. Because right now, what you have is Damage Control being completely top heavy with the stars. And then all you've got on the other end is Bianca, Shotzi, Michin, Zelina, and Charlotte when she's healthy. It really doesn't balance itself out. And it just makes everybody else be on the defense for Damage Control. And to me, that's not fun. You need to have some more diversity here and spread these motherfuckers out. Let me see if I got some more Instagram questions. I do not. All right. So let us see. I missed SmackDown the last 2 weeks, running back from the top. Oh, baby, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I will not. No. That's okay. You just playing, but I'm not going to do it anyway. I'm not doing it. How do you think they should finally split the tag titles, or should they do what they did with Roman? The tag division is really small. Can you give me the cord for the computer? The tag division is really small. In my opinion, I think they should combine them. I don't think that they should be split up. There are enough tag teams on each show for you to run it back. But me personally, I think letting the tag team titles work between both shows is a better fit, wider division, and you get to have a little bit more fun. People get to move between the two shows, and that kind of spices things up on each show. So you're not stuck in the same wheels of the tag team division where it gets stale. You've got a little bit more wiggle room to work with them traveling between both shows. So I think they should do what they did with Roman, introduce a new set of belts, completely get rid of those two sets of belts. You can still call them the undisputed tag team champions. You just don't need two sets of belts to do that. Any more questions? No? Any more? I'm good. Great. We love that. All right. So now we're going to finish up the SBC chat because I didn't finish it Wednesday. I had Nicole and Don in here and they changed the entire conversation. Love them because they saved the show because I had to use the facilities. So I was not able to be in here. But they was able to keep the show going and I love them for that. Appreciate them for that. Now, we're going to be doing the SBC chat. Some of y'all on Instagram may not be able to read it, but I'm going to read this so y'all can hear it. And we just going to kiki for a little bit, and then I'm going to be out y'all hair. I promise. Okay? So here we go. We are on question number 4 because I already did questions 1 through 3. So we're on question number 4. It says, I just want to be married. I didn't care to whom. I was tired of being alone. Oh, that's sad. I utilize all my resources, vision boards, telling my friends and family that I'm ready to settle down, posting pics of me cooking and traveling to lure the right brother. The more I searched, the more I realized that the man for me was Cookie's husband. Now, how did you come to that damn conclusion? How you go from being lonely and alone to going lusting after somebody else's damn husband? Where they do that at, Jared?
Mm-hmm.
You got some tissue over there?
Mm-hmm.
I need some tissue, babe. Cookie is my cousin, and she's a mess. She's been married to my dream man for 5 years, and they don't have kids because Cookie is an alcoholic who loves to gamble and fight. She doesn't want kids. I spent time with them and learned Cookie was on house arrest for fighting her friend. Girl, we had edibles that night. My dream man fell asleep on the couch. I did things to him while he was asleep.
Damn.
What? That's rape.
That's right.
That is assault, ma'am. You assaulted this man in his sleep? What the fuck? What is wrong with you? Are you insane? Oh my God. Cookie caught me and hit me in the head with a crock pot full of old soup. She bust that bitch in the head with a crock pot of old soup. I pressed charges and she's in jail. I could have sworn that he enjoyed my foreplay, but he's not responding to my texts. He did visit me in the ER. Cookie is out of the way for the moment and I'm healing. How do I lure my dream man to come and see about me? She'll be home soon and time is running out. Bitch, you went to your cousin's house and sexually assaulted her husband in her home. And then you get busted in the head with a pot of old soup. Press charges against your cousin for busting you in the head in her house. I don't see how your cousin ended up in jail. I'm confused. Because I would have told the police she was sexually assaulting my husband.
That's why she got busted.
And I was protecting my husband because she was sexually assaulting him. So I'm confused as to why you're not in prison and she is. I'm confused about that. And you are not even concerned with the fact that you did this.
Nope.
He is not responding to your advances, which rightfully so, because you assaulted him. Okay. And now you still sitting up here talking about how do I lure my dream man to come and see about me? Are y'all crazy? Are y'all sipping on the yak? What is going on? I don't understand what some of y'all are truly losing it. Y'all are losing it. I don't know what's going on here, but after the pandemic, y'all true craziness have come out because this is the work of a psychopath. There's no other way to explain that other than y'all are fucking crazy. Because what? In what capacity do this make sense? In what capacity does any of this make sense? Kayla said, girl, not only you went after your cousin's man, but you SA'd him. And you got your head knocked out, but you pressed charges because she attacked you. But you SA'd him and you're worried about him. Girl, I don't get it. I'm so confused. Ain't no man in the world worth my dignity or respect. I'm sorry, but you get nothing from me. I have no advice for you other than what the fuck is wrong with you? Like you need help. You legitimately need help. Let's go to question 5. I was tired of my boyfriend Gerald. He didn't do anything wrong. I wanted something new. Last summer, I met Mateo Omar, a beautiful Afro Venezuelan immigrant who spoke just enough English to steal my heart and probably your wallet. I put Gerald out of my house and moved Mateo in. He's a builder. We didn't speak the same language, but our vibe was strong. He was good to me. One day it was 100 degrees, and Mateo decided we needed a pool. He began to dig in the backyard. He invited more Venezuelans to dig. Pool diggers hit the sewer line and flooded my home. I called the plumber. My neighbor called the police, and Mateo and the Venezuelans ran. Mateo never returned. He brought me so much joy, and I don't know where he is or when he's coming back. And I'm pregnant. I want my baby to know her father, but I don't know how to find him. And I'm too far along to blame it on Gerald. What to do? Girl, you are pregnant by an Afro Venezuelan who does not speak English, and you don't know who he is or where he came from. You move this man into your house after you kicked out Gerald. Now you pregnant with this suave Venezuelan's baby, and you don't know where he is, where he could be. You don't know nothing. You know nothing about him. How did you get pregnant by a man and don't know nothing about him? You done made a whole child with a man that you do not know, and then got the audacity to say, I can't blame it on Gerald because I'm too far along. Never mind the fact that you knew this man. You bitches are trifling. You bitches are trifling. Y'all are some trifling. But are you serious? Are they serious, Dry? Did you hear what I said?
I heard what you said.
You are out here fucking on anything and getting pregnant and then trying to blame the baby on your other boyfriend who you don't want. But you done got pregnant by a complete and utter stranger. Don't know this nigga from Adam. What the fuck? What do you say to something like this? I don't know how to advise this, and I also don't want to. Like, what are you supposed to say to this? What are you supposed to do with this? This is wild. Are you kidding me? This is bizarre. Bizarre. We're going to go to question number 6, and then we're going to be out of here. Hello from Hell on Earth, also known as Kansas. That is a way to start. Oh my God. That's fucked up. After 6 years of timely payments, my Benz was finally paid in full. Finally, I had a little extra money to play around with without my wife knowing about it. Red fucking flag. Why can't your wife know? This nigga. I took a female friend to the motel. On our way home, her police officer ex-boyfriend pulled us over and found drugs in my car. The cops took my car. Asset forfeiture, which means they can take your vehicle if they suspect you bought the car with drug money. He made me call my wife to come pick me up. I asked if I could call a relative, but he said no. I could call my wife or he would take me to jail. Wife arrived. The cop says we received noise complaints from their hotel room. We thought it was domestic abuse, but they were just having sex. Damn! The cop busted your ass. This woman, he points to my female friends, is a known prostitute. The car swerved and we pulled them over. thick smell of marijuana. So we searched the vehicle and found cash and more marijuana. We're seizing the vehicle. This happened a month ago. My wife left me. I'm depressed about that. My female friend, who is not a sex worker, ghosted me. I'm back on public transportation because the cost of a new or used car is insane. I'm poorer than ever. If there's a spiritual person out there, I want to know just how long does bad karma last and what can I do to change my karma? I'm not finna help you. I'm not finna help you. You got what you deserved. Out here fucking around on your wife after you paid off the bins. You should have been taking that money and spending it on your wife. You want to know how long bad karma lasts until you learn your motherfucking lesson? That's how long it lasts. Because what the hell did the cop, the cop played you to the left.
The cop is the real MVP in all of this.
The cop, first of all, unless they, even if they have probable cause, you still have to give them, if I'm saying it right, they have to have probable cause to search your car.
They probably smell the weed in the car.
Now, if they, why do you have drugs in your car, bro? Like, what's going on?
He did say that when the car swerved, they pulled him over.
He also said that the girl was a damn prostitute.
True.
And that they heard a noise complaint at the damn motel. He didn't hear that shit.
No, he didn't. But the cop said that when the car swerved and they pulled him over, he smelled the weed in the car. He
ain't smell no weed in that damn car.
That's what the cop was saying.
That cop dried.
Oh, no.
That cop planted that shit in that car.
It's all bullshit.
I don't believe for a minute that he smelled no weed in that man's car. I need the tissue, Antoine.
Okay.
Karma doesn't have a time limit because it lasts forever, no matter what you do to make it go away. Karma has a limit. After a while, she move on to somebody else. But that ain't the point. The point is, I don't think your karma's ever gonna end because you're gonna keep fucking up. You ain't even concerned with what you did. You only mad that you gotta be on public transportation. Your wife left you because you was cheating. Had you had not been cheating, none of this would be happening. You would be still with your wife, probably would still have your car, and could be happy. You chose this road, so now you got to live with it. And that, my friends, is the SBC chat. We're done. We're done. Thank you. Oh, hold tight, y'all. Give me 1 second.
Still don't know my words, still stressing perfection. Let you all in my mental, got me looking too desperate. Damn, you ain't desire.
All right. I had to blow my nose. All right, y'all. So that is it. We are done. Okay. I'm going to end the live over here on Instagram. Thank y'all for listening. I hope I did the show justice. Hopefully, once I get over this cold some more and I get used to going live on Instagram every week, just like I go live over here on YouTube, everybody will get used to the game and I'll be able to keep up with everything But this was fun, and I like it because the look of it is right, and y'all can hear everything. And I appreciate y'all listening in live and coming in and out, staying or going. It doesn't matter. I appreciate y'all being here. Hopefully Monday will be a better show because we have more material to work with. And moving into January, things are going to pick up, and we'll have TNA stuff to talk about as well. So Fridays are going to be double wrestling. And of course, we've got Mondays and Tuesdays where we talk about NXT and Raw. And on Wednesdays, it's Freestyle Wednesday. Okay. That is when we just shoot the shit. Okay. Have Freestyle Wednesdays. And we talk about everything from wrestling to the SBC chat. We even do the HBCU confessions. And we just have a full-on free-for-all convo. I let people in. Y'all can come in and talk. It's a whole situation. But thank y'all for being over here. I appreciate y'all. And I only got one more thing to say. Please, please, please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. It's important. All right. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. Everything is scrolling at the bottom. You guys can support the channel through Cash App. You can support the channel through the membership or the super chat here on Instagram. I mean, on YouTube, if you want to. You can gift on Instagram as well. That's totally up to you as well. It is not necessary, but subscribing to my YouTube channel is free, ladies and gents. Next year, we're going to have brand new content over there for you guys to see. I'm working on some stuff that I think you guys will really like and enjoy, on camera stuff that I'm going to be talking about. I got a couple books that I have to read, and we're going to have a full conversation about. So it's going to be a fun time over on YouTube. Don't forget to go over there and subscribe. I love y'all over here on Instagram, and I'll see y'all on Monday. I'll be live on Monday. All right, y'all. I will see y'all next time.